What's going on, everybody? Keith Niebuhr here with Gators Online and On3 to talk a little bit about Florida Gators football recruiting today. And we're going to focus on one of the Gators' top remaining overall targets. And his name is Jordan Seaton. He's a four-star offensive tackle from Bradenton, Florida's IMG Academy. Now, earlier this week, you'll recall, four-star defensive back Wardell Mack, a standout corner from Louisiana, committed to Billy Napier and company. Now, that gave the Gators 22 overall commitments and the number 3 class ranking in the On3 recruiting team rankings. Loaded class. It's got quantity. It's got quality. Again, number 3 class in the country. But even with all that hay in the barn, there still are spots left to fill for the Florida Gators. They'd like another running back. They'd like an elite receiver. They'd like one more defensive lineman and one more cornerback. But also, they would love to add a high-level offensive tackle to go along with the 4 offensive line commitments they already have, the headliner being 4-star tackle Fletcher Westball. So 4 offensive linemen committed. They'd love to have one more, and the guy that the Gators have really focused on is Jordan Seaton, who we just mentioned. IMG Academy star, Washington, D.C. native. He's visited Florida more than once. Florida is high on his list. He is high on Florida's board. The Gators are very much involved here. Now, last Friday, I went and spent some time with Jordan and the coaching staff at Bradenton IMG to get some insight into his ability and also into his recruitment. So, in just a second, we're going to show you some highlights, some clips from practice at IMG Academy. And after that, Corey Bender, my coworker at Gators Online, is going to give you a quick breakdown of Jordan Seaton's ability, what he likes about his game. And believe me, there's a lot to like. He's 6'6"-ish. Pushing 300 pounds. He can do a lot of things, prototypical left tackle. So let's go to the highlights now. Let's get to Corey Bender's breakdown, and then I will be back to provide some analysis into where things stand in Jordan Seaton's recruitment. Take it away.
Let's go. Let's go. Good. Don't cross over. Open, rip, and run. Work for your backside shoulder across. Ready, go. Okay. Don't pivot. Don't pivot. See? There it is. Attention to detail. Attention to detail. Go to high. Go to high. Good. Go to green grass.
Yeah, Keith, this is one of my favorite offensive line prospects for this cycle. With Seaton, I think it's a guy that can play guard or tackle at the next level. I love his versatility. He does a great job of pulling around the corner, does a good job of getting downhill, very aggressive and relentless as well, especially once getting to that second level. And, once he makes contact, he's not just trying to block you and get you out of the way. He's trying to put you on your back. So I love his relentlessness. He's very aggressive. And you look at his film, too. Very good size, about 6'5", near about 300 pounds right now. And I like his personality, too. I like his demeanor away from the field. He's a very driven kid, and I think it's a kid that overall, whatever school gets him, I think this is a guy who will be a multi-year starter and a guy who could definitely rise in the rankings before it's all said and done as well. And, with Jordan Seaton, I mean, it's no surprise Florida's going all in for his services.
All right, great stuff, Corey. Now let's get back to the actual recruitment of Jordan Seaton, and I've got to pull out my notebook because there's a lot here. Right now, he's the number 23 overall recruit in the country for On3 and the number 3 tackle. Now in the On3 industry rankings, which takes into account On3's rankings, the rankings from 24/7, Rivals, ESPN. He's the number 2 tackle in the country. So we're talking about an elite player. You're splitting hairs at that point. If you're one of the 3 or 4 best offensive tackles in the country, it stands to reason you are a wanted man. And Jordan Seaton is. So regarding his recruitment, he has officially visited Alabama. That took place in June, and we understand the Tide really love this guy and are all in on him. Now, that was the only official visit that he took this summer. So this fall, he plans to officially visit the following schools: LSU, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Oregon, South Carolina, and Florida. He will officially visit Florida as of now. This is the plan. Things are always subject to change. As of now, Jordan Seaton will officially visit the Gators on September 16th, which is when Tennessee comes to the Swamp to play the Gators. Now, right now, he has no commitment time frame, okay? No commitment time frame, but he does want to sign in December. So he's got a lot to figure out between now and then, obviously. But from the Florida side, we understand that the Gators believe they are a prominent factor in this recruitment, and he has said as much to us. What does Jordan like about Florida? Well, a lot of things, but one thing really stands out, and it's the two offensive line coach system that the Gators employ with Rob Sale and Darnell Stapleton. He feels like he would get the attention he needs, the development he needs to get him to the next level. So that is certainly a plus for the Florida Gators in this recruitment. But again, the competition is stiff. The teams that we think to maybe keep track of the most right now, Florida, Alabama, South Carolina. Now, in the On3 recruiting prediction machine, Ohio State's the favorite, but we're sort of hearing mixed things on that. He says he's going to officially visit, but there's been articles written on various sites that say maybe Ohio State's focusing more on other people. So we'll have to see how that plays out. But again, he says he's going to officially visit Ohio State, so we'll take him at his word. But we know that South Carolina heavily in the mix. We believe Florida's heavily in the mix, and we believe that Alabama is heavily in the mix. And again, this is a truly elite player. And I'm going to give you a quote before we head out of here from Billy Miller. So who is Billy Miller? He's the head coach at Bradenton IMG Academy, and he's also got to experience working at different levels, including the NFL. And here's what he told me about Jordan Seaton. And remember the amount of talent that's come through IMG Academy through the years. He said, this from Billy Miller, "We've had a really big pipeline from here to the NFL with offensive line guys, and Jordan should be the next one." So multiple people at IMG believe that Jordan Seaton is a Sunday guy. And one good source at IMG said that, yes, Florida's squarely in the mix. So Jordan Seaton, a guy you're going to want to pay attention to this fall, and we expect him to be on campus in Gainesville not too far into the distant future. In fact, 1 month from this recording, September 16th. So keep an eye on Jordan Seaton, elite offensive tackle. Again, Florida, the number 3 class in the country with 22 commitments. And that'll do it for this recruiting update from Gators Online. I'm Keith Niebuhr. Please go to gatorsonline.com for more recruiting intel, team intel, and anything and everything Gators. Take care, everybody.